Hello and welcome to ABOUTGH.lab, and here we break down the major trending topics in Ghanaian football and also football across the globe. If you're watching me, I'm coming to you live from Casablanca, Morocco, where the African Cup of Nations tournament just concluded with Senegal emerging victorious ahead of the host nation in a tense finale in Rabat. And today on ABOUTGH.lab, I'm going to talk about the major talking points from the competition. Let's get straight into it. My first talking point is Morocco's organizational excellence. I think this tournament, in terms of organization, was the best that the African football could be sold out there. Morocco has set a great benchmark for any other country that want to host the competition going forward. I think the infrastructure were excellent. Everything was just on point in terms of pitches, because in Morocco, at this time of the season, there was a lot of rainfall, but the drainage system and everything was working. There was no flooding anywhere. There was no flooded pitch, and fans could enjoy the game in very good stadiums and all that. So I think Morocco's organizational excellence in terms of ticketing and everything was just on point. So I have to give credit to them for that. And in this competition, my second talking point is that quality prevailed. There was no upset, no major upsets, because coming into this competition, I thought some teams were going to pull off some upset, especially for me. I thought Gabon were going to surprise everyone, but they did not. This competition actually followed the rankings. It followed every ranking. The top two, or the finalists, were the top teams on the continent. The semi-finals also featured teams that were in the top 5 on the FIFA rankings for Africa. So this competition went according to script. There were no major upsets. The best teams showed up, the best teams excelled, and it was just incredible for us here. The third talking point, I should say, or the third point I'm going to make, is officiating was underwhelming, and we all saw it. I don't need to dwell on it for much of the time. We all saw how officiating went. Even in the final, there were lots of contentious decisions. It felt like a particular team were being favored, and everyone was complaining about it. I don't want to mention names here, but officiating in this particular tournament was very, very underwhelming compared to what we witnessed in Ivory Coast in 2023, where the VAR was used, and people saying that other top leagues have to be watching the AFCON to learn how to use the VAR, and this time around it was an embarrassing situation. Senegal even threatened at some point to walk off the field in the final because of officiating. So I think the Referees Association in Africa has to go back to the drawing board. They have to look at things critically, because it was just a bad advertisement for African football in terms of officiating in this competition. My fourth talking point is that Senegal were deserved champions. Senegal came into this tournament on the back of a disappointing tournament in 2023, because when they went to 2023, they were defending champions, but they exited in the round of 16, and that led to the sacking of Aliou Cissé. But they came into this tournament with a new manager, Pape Thiaw, and they hit the ground running straight from the start. They were the first team to score 3 goals in this tournament. They scored 3 against Botswana in a game that Idrissa Gana Gueye said they should have scored more, but it meant, or they signaled their intent right from the onset, and they kept going. They didn't stop being the best team in this competition right from the start to the finish line, with the likes of Sadio Mane, Pape Gueye, and the likes coming to the party for the Senegalese national team, who secured their second title. So Senegal, in the last 4 editions of the tournament, have been to the final 3 times and have won 2, just establishing their dominance on the continent. So Senegal have moved from being nobodies on the continent, I should say, to becoming a giant on the African continent. So Senegal deserve champions. Fifth talking point, or the fifth point that I have to make, is that in this competition, Africa's elite players delivered. It was a competition where the players that we watch constantly or consistently in the top leagues performing and showing up also came to the party, or came to this tournament and blew everyone away. The best, or the top scorer in this competition, Brahim Diaz, we all know him for Real Madrid. Yacine Bono was named the goalkeeper of the tournament, and it wasn't a surprise because he's one of the best goalkeepers on the competition. Sadio Mane won the best player of the tournament, and well documented how he plays and all that. Sadio Mane deserved it. So the likes of Mohamed Salah, Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, Amad Diallo, and all these players were just incredibly good in this competition, and it was very, very exciting for African football lovers, seeing our best players or our top players in the European leagues coming to this competition and giving off their best and making us more entertained. So I think this is one competition that we really enjoy the football a lot because the elite players delivered. Last and final point has to be the rise of African coaches, and it's just brilliant that for the 4th time in a row, the AFCON has been lifted, or the trophy has been lifted by a local coach in Pape Thiaw. In 2019, Algeria was led by a local coach. 2021 as well, Senegal, Aliou Cissé. 2023 had MS Faye, and this time around is Pape Thiaw winning the competition. So it tells you that African coaches are now up there, and I feel it is time for African coaches to start making a lot of noise because they've made a strong case for themselves in this competition. Remember, in the semi-finals, all 4 coaches were local coaches. It tells you the tactical acumen of these coaches have improved. They are top in whatever they do on the continent. So Pape Thiaw, congratulations to him. But if he didn't win it, Walid Regragui, I think, is also one top manager who could have won it. Also, he deserves to win the trophy. But it didn't happen. Pape Thiaw emerging victorious. But it's good news for African football. It's good news for our African coaches because growing up, you used to watch the African Cup of Nations and all you see was foreign coaches sitting on the touchlines, foreign coaches winning it with African countries. But this time around, the African coaches are setting the benchmark, and it's very, very impressive. It's very, very good, and it's good news for us. And for legendary managers like Assane Shehata, they will be proud with what the other local coaches are doing for African football. So that's it from me from Casablanca, Morocco. I brought up my major talking points from this competition that I think was a success. Any way you want to put it, I think I agree with the CAF president, Patrice Motsepe, who says the 2025 African Cup of Nations tournament was a success. So that's it for me. Continue to follow ABOUTGH for all exclusive content on Ghanaian football, global football, and everything. We'll come your way next time from Accra, Ghana. And this time around, I'm sure I'll be feeling a bit more warmer. It's very cold here in Casablanca, Morocco. Thank you.